Today is the first long run of my marathon training. It's currently middle of May and I'm doing the Long Beach Marathon the first week of October, so that leaves several months. All right, this is my view running through Claremont Colleges right now. For a person who does not like running, I signed up for a marathon and I said I'm gonna do it, but only if I do it with these 3 rules. Rule number 1, I have to finish, right? So that means I cannot walk. Rule number 2, that means that I'm gonna do it in barefoot shoes. Check this out. Okay, so something like that. So pretty much flat, no sole, wide toe box, that whole kind of thing. Those are my barefoot runner community out there. Let me know in the comments. And then lastly, rule number 3, I have to be jacked when I cross that finish line. Meaning I still gotta work out. When people sign up for marathons and they do this stuff, and that was one of the big reasons why I didn't want to do it, is that people look skinny. And I don't want to look skinny, you know? I mean, I want to run, but why can't I look good and have some muscle on me while running? So today I'm doing my first run. It's a 6-mile zone 2 training. Now, this is what ChatGPT gave me. I said, I want to do the marathon. This is what I want to do, yada, yada. Draw me a game plan of what I should do for my training. And so ChatGPT spit out 3 days a week is what I could commit to. And today is my long run at zone 2 heart rate training. See, now I'm in zone 3. I can't talk. So I'm new to this whole running thing, so I'm learning as you guys are learning here. But my understanding is, like, I feel like I can maintain zone 3, zone 4, and still spit out my long runs at 6, 7, 8 miles, and I'll still be fine. So why it's so painful that I have to stay at zone 2? Like I look like old man jogging, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of that? I understand there's some science behind building up your mitochondria. One of my coworkers told me it's like a super soaker. You know, one of those things where you like pull back and then you push forward, right? And all this water comes out. It's like when you're doing zone 2 training, you are slowly pulling back and building up that tank so that when you need to super soak, you can release. And that's like more for my tempo runs, my harder runs, my marathon runs, stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Zone 2 training. Let me know in the comments. I'd love for your guys' feedback or any kind of training help, advice. Like, this is my first marathon. I'm sure those of you who are out there have done many marathons at this point. So tell me what's going on. Okay, so this is why it's frustrating. I'm jogging up a hill right now and I am breaking zone 3. And it's to a point where it's like, man, I have to walk to decrease my heart rate to stay in zone 2. And I don't know, maybe it's like a mind over like a fitness thing, but I can definitely do way more. I'm having a very, very challenging time. I'm just like grinding my teeth trying to stay in zone 2, but it's very frustrating. And you know what? I am currently at 5.25 miles and it's been an hour and 8 minutes now. Like, I don't got all day. I'm not gonna wake up at 3 a.m. to do my long runs. What's going on?
I'm at work and I just had a moment between patients to just get on here because I want to just vlog and keep track. I'm doing this marathon thing for the first time for someone who hates running. I'm tracking this whole progress, okay? It is currently June, the first week of June, and it's been 3 weeks of starting my training. Every weekend I'm doing long runs, and the first week I did 5 miles. That's the most I've ever ran. Then the following week was 6 miles. That's the most I've ever ran. Then the following week was 7 miles. That's the most I've ever ran. And then now, this weekend, I'm doing 8 miles. The most I've ever ran at one time. What? Okay, so a couple things that I know that I mentioned earlier was my frustration in zone 2 training and why I'm doing that. So I went down the rabbit hole just figuring out like, why the heck do we do zone 2 training? Why do people do it? And what are the pros and cons? And what are other people doing? So what I found in my research is that when most people run, they run and go really hard. And if you're doing any kind of heart rate training or paying attention to your heart rate, most people are spending time in zone 3 or zone 4 of their max heart rate, which is like 70, 80, 90% of their max heart rate. Now, the science and literature shows that when you are that high or in the higher range of your heart rate zone, that means you are using glycogen or carbs as your main source of fuel. Versus if you're in zone 2, you are using mostly fat as your source of fuel. Now, I've been really listening to this book. I do it on Audible or Spotify Premium, if that. It's completely free, which is awesome. And I just listen to it on my long runs, which is kind of funny. It's called Primal Endurance. You should definitely check that out. I'll link it or show you a picture of the thing right here. But if you're doing running, if you have interest in zone 2 training, endurance running, like it's a fantastic book that explains a little bit more about zone 2 training and aerobic training without burnouts and stuff like that. So anyway, it really convinced me because it's exactly how I felt. And most people train in what they call the black hole, which is this zone 3 and zone 4 training, meaning you're going hard like every single time, right? And so I do that and I feel fantastic. I get that endorphin high, but then what happens after? I crash, I crave like crazy amounts of carbs, and I just want to eat. So what does that do? It means I'm depleting my glycogen stores. It means I'm craving and just absurdly eating carbs right after, which spikes my blood sugar. Insulin rushes into my bloodstream, and then I crash after. So there's this like up and down effect that happens, which is not helpful to be metabolically flexible, right? If your intention is to be metabolically inflexible and be on the course for diabetes, binge a bunch of carbs, and not use fat as your source of fuel, then go ahead and go on this black hole training style. And I realized like, wow, that's me, right? Like I'm training in zone 3, zone 4, I'm sweating, I can't even talk during this thing. But if you're in zone 2, you can typically talk throughout the entire time. You can nose breathe and feel absolutely comfortable. And so the book talks about this one formula. It's called the Mathitone formula, and that is 180 minus your age. So for me, 180 minus my age, I'm 33 years old. That means that that's going to be my max heart rate. I just have to check. My max heart rate's at 147. So what I did is I would put 147 as my max heart rate on my watch, and it would alert me. If I go over that amount, it'll start to buzz. And so you can do that with any kind of watch. I have the Garmin Forerunner 165. I'll link it below. Great watch, fantastic watch that keeps track of your heart rate, sleep, all that kind of stuff. I really recommend if you're new to running. So I'm fully convinced, and my goal is to train in zone 2 the entire time when I'm doing my training. Just a quick recap, I'm running 3 days a week. 1 is like a faster tempo day, 2 is a more recovery day, and 3 is my long run day. And so I'm running 3 days a week, and I'm also working out 3 days a week on every other day. And that leaves 1 day to completely rest. So that's my training protocol. And remember, my 3 rules are: number 1, I have to not walk. Number 2, I have to run in barefoot shoes. And number 3, I gotta look jacked. So I'm doing my curlies for the girlies during my workout training program. But it's super interesting. I hope this would all work out. It's great because I got a baseline of what zone 2 running has been for me, which I've been averaging about 13 miles for 5 miles. So I'd love to see in about like 8 weeks, if I do zone 2 training, when I do 5 miles again, will I still stay at a 13-mile pace or maybe faster? We'll see.